It's always the people that say that they never listen to you in the first place.
But they're glued.
But they can't, yeah, but you know they will, because they've had to find this thing out, look for it, to be offended by it, yeah. Is that people were sold a kind of monster, and everyone needs someone to hate in order to feel better about their own lives. And your ferry service is called Steam Packet, isn't it?
Yes.
It's brilliant, I love it. Okay, the MHKs have actually got members the size of a chipolata because they have no moral spine. So we are turning the tide on cancel culture. So this whole 20-mile-an-hour nonsense, that's got to go.
Welcome back to the Isle of Man, Katie.
Thank you very much. It's really good to be back. We rolled off the ferry and I said to lovely Mark, I really like this place. I don't know what it is about the Isle of Man. I love it.
So it's been nearly 2 years, hasn't it, since you were last here? What's really gone on in that time?
A lot more of touring, a lot more learning how to do touring and stand-up, a lot more building a very strong tour. So this tour, this year, 2025, is my third tour, and it's bigger than it's ever been. It's in more venues than it's ever been. We will be performing to a total of 60,000 people, and it's now the fastest selling small tour of 2025. So super proud of becoming a stand-up tour that is one of the only sold-out tours in the UK right now.
And what can people expect that are coming up that may have gone last time? Is it going to be similar or different, or kind of a bit of everything?
Yeah, always a completely different show. There's never any repeat material, but similar kind of themes. So the way I guess some people will know me now is my daily news brief, Batshit Bonkers Britain. And it's a 1-minute news brief that touches on what I think are the important matters of the day, 3 usually. And that news brief is now played into number 10 as part of the Prime Minister's what to watch for briefing. So that's kind of my main contact with people now. So if they watch that Batshit Bonkers Britain, this tour is more of that. Ridiculing myself, ridiculing the situation we find ourselves in, and the stuff that every day make people go, oh, for goodness sake. It's a show of that. And it's really... The thing I love about it is in that room, the feeling is people arrive, you feel at home, you feel like you belong. It's like going back in time. And there's 82, I'm just thinking about the last show we did, 82-year-old gentleman and an 18-year-old who'd chosen to spend her birthday with us, and our sturdy lesbians, which are my favourite people. And we're such a brilliant mix, and I love it. If you could just live in those rooms the whole time, you'd be a very happy person. So yeah, I'm very lucky to do what I do.
And over the past 2 years, what do you think have sort of been the highlights, I suppose, within British politics, dare I say?
Yeah.
And the biggest, not target points, but I suppose kind of key features for you.
Yeah, well, for me, I always see the American link. I've known the way that we go, America will follow. When it's darkness, when there's great things happen in America, greatness comes to us. I've always been a solid supporter of Trumpy Trump. So for him, 2016, to be there at his inauguration, knowing that he was going to win when everybody said Clinton would win. 2020, in my opinion, to see that election stolen. But 2024, to see him win again. And I was there for his inauguration again. And just seeing him win every day over there allows us to win some here. So him making it very clear that there's only 2 biological sexes meant that our Supreme Court finally had the, what do I say that is not rude, had the man parts to decide that there are only 2 biological sexes. That's a direct win for us because of Trump. So that's been a highlight for me. I think seeing Starmer fail so spectacularly and knowing that he's being, the sharks are now circling him, that's nice to see, and it's great to see a strong reform / other party building that could win. You know, we could have a reform government.
And have you received much backlash? Because obviously when you first started doing the shows, there was a fair bit of...
Huge!
Yes.
A fair bit. We lost on the first tour, after the success we sold out. So the very first time I was on stage doing my version of stand-up, we sold out Blackpool for an entire weekend, something that hasn't happened in its recent modern history in 40 years. And as a result of that, we got 60 theatres up and down the country booking us. 48 of those pulled. On one complaint off and one email, 48 theatres pulled. So when you say a bit of backlash, absolutely not being allowed to try and have a career or a job or an income stream or do what I do. And now we've built over 3 years, we've come back from being cancelled everywhere to only being cancelled once on this tour. So that's such an achievement, and it's because of our audience, like here at the Isle of Man, because everyone sells these venues out in a heartbeat. Venues need our people. They need people to come along. You know, because we welcome everybody, they spend at the bar. Young people, you know, no offence to you, because clearly you're young to me and to many people, don't spend money. We can keep theatres going for 3 months with what we bring. So we are turning the tide on cancel culture. We are allowing venues to stay open. We are giving the staff there a brilliant night. And I support people who are the opposite of me, coming behind me and performing in those theatres. Brilliant. You know, you disagree with me, you can't stand me. I don't care. Here's a theatre that will keep going for you. Yeah, so that's why, it would be an understatement to say we were a bit cancelled. And it would be an understatement to say that we have absolutely pushed back on that. But I did hold an exclusive for you here on the Isle of Man, which I've not spoken about at all, ever yet, which is, as things currently stand today, I am under... Let me rephrase this. Bear in mind what's just gone on at Glastonbury with a man on stage shouting X to the IDF, and directly calling for the death of a certain group of people. I am under threat of arrest if I don't turn up to be interviewed under caution by a police force in the UK right now for my comedy pub night online called the Katie's Arms. So it's a pub, it's a comedy pub. I opened it during lockdown because I saw how many people we were losing to suicide and mental health issues. We had people swing in the forest near us. I mean, it was dreadful. Opened a comedy pub, which I've been running on a Friday at 8 o'clock for 5 years. And on one of these pub nights, someone took a recording of the pub night and reported it to the police. And now I have to go and present myself to CID to be interviewed under caution in order to try and prosecute me for speech that might offend. So I've been running a tour knowing that at any point I could be arrested, and police, as they are, would happily arrest me on stage.
What are your thoughts on that?
You know, the inner me is like, come on then, arrest me. Like, you know, a crowd of 1,500 people in our audience in Blackpool. You want to arrest me then? Come on stage. I want to see you do this. Right, that's rebellious me. Business and responsible me will never let an audience down, and that would be terrible for the audience because they've paid to come and have a nice time, and I will give them a nice time. And then, so you know, that me is business me that says I respect my audience too much to allow that to happen. But then human me, like emotional me, says, isn't it wild? Like, I'm a mum of 3 kids. This is all I am. And I'm the focus of a CID investigation at a time when everything is so crazy and a guy's on stage at Glastonbury shouting death to the, you know, a whole group of people. So the madness continues for sure. But ultimately, I don't have any, I'm not fearful, I'm not scared, none of those things. I just see that I will always be in the crosshairs, and I guess I've chosen to be that person, right?
Interesting enough, I was going to say to you, what were your thoughts on people that said that you do participate, I suppose, in hate speech, what would you say to those
Yeah,
people?
exactly. So people that say I speak hate speech, or people that say I should be charged or in prison, or people say that they hate me. Well, first of all, to the hate people, if you hate me, you know, I think that's totally fine, because I never asked you to like me. So that's your choice. I would say to people who hate me right now, that's me that you hate. So it isn't anybody interviewing me or anybody giving me a platform. So please don't be hating on anyone else other than me, because you hate me, not anyone else here. And I would say the reason I've been able to endure 20 years of being hated really quite substantially back in the past, and now I find myself in the very awkward position of being loved, but is that people were sold a kind of monster, and everyone needs someone to hate in order to feel better about their own lives. And I know who I am, and I'm not any of those things. I might be a bit of an arsehole, I might be an idiot to some people, I might have the opposite views of some people, but I know in my soul I'm just a good person trying to make everyone else feel a bit better. So the hate doesn't stick in that sense, because I know who I am. But I guess also part of what I've been doing for 30 years is trying to get people to see that we don't have to agree. That it is not true that you can only like people you agree with. And I'm really winning at that with these tours. And you see it because of the rooms. That people look around in these rooms and they can't believe there's groups of 20-year-old lads and then 18-year-old girls on their birthday and grandma and grandpas all in the same room. That's a very unique thing. So it's really lovely. And just here on the Isle of Man this morning, so I got off the ferry yesterday afternoon, I think. This morning I'm on the little quay here doing batshit bonkers, where I just, for a minute, you know, and a guy comes up. He's like, "This is batshit bonkers." Like, "Yes. I asked you to marry me. You didn't reply." I was like, "Okay, good." And, you know, 4 or 5 other people coming up, they listen every day. So the Legion, brilliant to support the Legion, and I think it's lovely. Linda at the Legion, I'm a member of the Legion, a member of the British Forces in the past, so it's really supportive. And we just need a bigger venue here. I think you have the Gaiety here, don't you, on the island?
We do have the Gaiety Theatre.
So we need the Gaiety to say yes.
That's the next aim.
Well, I mean, we can sell out 1,500 seats. So I don't know if what we need is the Gaiety not to be government owned. Is it government owned?
It is, yeah.
So if a theatre takes government funding, typically they won't have my show because they don't need an income, which is very actually economically fraudulent because they're taking taxpayers' cash. So I would say to the Gaiety, why are you deciding what people should come and listen to? I would say to the theatre manager or the programme at the Gaiety, I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to agree with me. I understand you've got enough money because the taxpayers are paying for you, but please let my show come to the Gaiety and let other people decide who they choose to come and see. That's my pitch to the Gaiety.
That is your pitch, used and done there. So you're doing 2 nights this time,
2 nights,
yeah.
and people still can't get tickets because we sold out. I'm encouraging people to try and turn up at the door, but I mean, that could be a riot. So, but we can never get big enough venues for what we're trying to do. And it's why we end up in, you know, booking. So we had, let's give an example of Stamford. And Stamford is a very polite and proper city in the UK.
Town more so, isn't it? It's where Burley is, isn't it?
It's very lovely. Yeah. It's very Bath, but a bit more north. And the theatre manager there, Judith, she was ballsy in that first year. She stuck out like against opposition. The next year we did 2 nights. This year we did 3. And next year we're booked for a full week in Stamford. So basically, I've now got a residency. So I'm basically Celine Dion.
You're basically
I'm basically Celine Dion, but just a bit more agile.
So last year when you came to the Isle of Man, I remember you talking, 2 years ago, sorry, very fondly of the ferry bridge and a few little sweet things around the island.
Yes, so going over that, the bridge, I love the ferry, steam packet ferries here, also tremendous.
Which ferry did you come on?
Whatever the steam packet lovely ferry is.
From Liverpool or Heysham?
No, that one, the latter one with an H.
Where
have I been? Heysham.
I don't know where I've been.
Yes, I love it. It's a brilliant ferry. And then I love the Isle of Man attitude, which is we're an island, we don't get told what to do. I'm very sad that the island being that kind of, that's why I think I love it. I can feel the freedom in it. But I'm very sad that it has small-minded people in charge. So this whole 20-mile-an-hour nonsense, that's got to go. Trying to take away from the TT, that's got to go. Not allowing beautiful buildings to be redeveloped. I mean, what sort of small-minded cretin thinks you shouldn't redevelop things? That's absolutely got to go. I think a lot of your, what are they called, member of the MHKs, have actually got members the size of a chipolata because they have no moral spine to say we need redevelopment. People should be allowed to speed around this island as they do on the TT. You don't know how to work sewage here. I mean, it's very basic, but you're trying to pump sewage uphill. There's a gag in that somewhere, I'm certain. So we need more people with more spine. I think you have one terrific MHK here. A gentleman who used to be a radio presenter.
Stu Peters?
Stu Peters. He's marvellous. And what we need is a lot more of Stu Peters. So I'm meeting Stu later to try and encourage him to stand again. And we need to get more support from more people with a spine and a fewer of these chipolata membered MHKs. I don't know what they're doing.
I remember last time there was a bit of, I suppose, backlash really from Douglas Council. Has there been any of that this time round?
I don't know. I mean, we don't hear it. We just hear what I hear going from. I've only arrived yesterday, and I've just everywhere I go, people are coming up, giving me cuddles, having a lovely time, looking forward to the night. You're lovely. The gentleman here who produces your stuff, he was speaking to someone on the phone, and he was like, "Oh, we're seeing Katie tomorrow night." You know, that's what a joy that is. Backlash, maybe there'll be some, but they're really talking to themselves. What I do notice, though, is so in Swansea, there was a little organised protest, and it was a nice day. So you typically get, if it rains, protesters don't show, because presumably rain is terrifying. But because it was a nice day, they turned out. Used to be Black Lives Matter, right? All white people, but Black Lives Matter. This time it's changed. So they've put away the Black Lives Matter signs, or they've painted over them, and now it's Free Palestine. So they were outside my 1,200 people event, we sold out, shouting Free Palestine. So they've now got the black and white tea towels on. So they're sort of, their costume has changed, their signs changed, but it's the same white people that shop at Waitrose. And it really makes me laugh, because they're like, Free Palestine, and I was shouting back, I don't have Palestine, I haven't got it. So yeah, it's comedy. I think they all need to, get a hobby.
And going forwards, how much longer are you hoping to tour for? What's the plans for the future?
Right, exactly. Why aren't I on delicious Mauritius, lying on a sunbed, drinking gin and tonics? I concur. My part of me is like, I keep going until I fall over, or my brain stops being able to recall material at the speed that you actually need to be able to do what I'm trying to do. It's actually harder than it looks. But I can't stop, because while venues sell out and while we're still keeping venues alive, I have to keep going, because I feel a commitment to it. I feel a sense of purpose. I feel like this is what I'm here for. The day I don't sell tickets, people don't want to come. I'm not a regular stand-up. I'm not trying to push tickets. We have zero advertising. I don't get to go anywhere to advertise or promote myself. You see these comedians on BBC radio endlessly flogging their book or their tickets or whatever. I don't have any of that. But the minute there's no demand, I'll be quiet. But for now, I feel like we owe it to our loyal venues to keep coming back. We owe it to people who want to come, to keep putting ourselves out there. And clearly I'll be arrested at some point. But I feel like this is such a brilliant time to be alive. I so appreciate you having me back on, because I know after last time we spoke, you were kind enough to just allow me to speak, as you're doing here. Just for allowing me to speak, you got loads of grief. And yet you're here again, allowing me to speak again. So I really admire you for that, and I really thank you. And I really thank anybody actually who's bothered to listen to this, who disagrees with me, who cannot stand anything I say, but can see that it would be a good idea to get me in the Gaiety. I say thanks very much. So yeah, I'm a very grateful person, very happy to be alive, I'm very happy to be here on the Isle of Man.
And for people that may have not been able to get their hands on the tickets for the next 2 nights, hopefully you'll be back.
I'll be back. Oh, all I need, I'm going to go to the Gaiety later to do my little pitch. I do this in theatre reception areas every city I go to. Did it very successfully at a theatre that's turned us down for 2 years running. I went in and their staff at front desk you can see from the women, they hate me. They hate me, but I did my pitch. I emailed the theatre manager again, and we're now going to get that theatre this year. So my pitch to the Gaiety, I will go and do in the foyer. If they will say yes, we will put the tickets on sale before I leave the island. They absolutely have my word. And we will do a charity bucket. We will give a percentage of what we take to a charity. We will help fund something for the Isle of Man. I don't care about the money. I want to make things better, and we can do this together. So yeah, if the Gaiety say yes, we will put those tickets on sale before I leave the island.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Katie.
No, thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. I admire you. I think you're a tough cookie, and I really wish you well.